Last time on Tales of Arise.
Balsif, Cannabelt, Almadria, and Volron.
Absolutely horrible. All of them. And now back to... How's it going, everyone? My name is NAMCO, and welcome back to Let's Play Tales of Arise. In the last video, we arrived on Linagus. Pretty weird spot. It's like a lot of like, I don't know, it looks like a lot of like machinery stuff. Just pretty much been just stuck in cutscenes this entire time. Not a whole lot in terms of like what's going on, but Doleem's like story is being a little more expansive, so I'm really happy that he's getting a little more attention. Because I'm really liking his character, like I really do, and just the fact that the people from his backstory, his past, are like all here, and it's just to see him like flustered. It's like a change of pace. How usually it's more elegant and such. So it's really cool to see more for his story. So not a lot has been really happening. We're trying to go to the Forbidden Zone because we're just trying to we're just trying to get in here. We need to infiltrate to get to the Red Woman, even though the Red Woman we actually passed earlier. Yeah, just a whole bunch of cutscenes. I don't really want to go into detail because it's pretty much nothing. So in terms of what I said last video when I was asking about like what about the Light Master Core? Turns out, thank you, Kimberly, for clarifying something for me. When we were talking about the Master Cores, because you had like the wind, you had fire, and everything else, right? I looked over here, and it was pointed out that Ganabelt was the one with the Lord of the Light. He's Lord of the Light, all right? It's in the name, Dakota. Jeez, just get. And I listen. I didn't think about it when I said it, but yeah, Cicelodia was like in full darkness, and once we defeated Ganabelt, took his Master Core, that's when the light kind of came back. It didn't occur to me when like it actually happened. I guess it just went past over me. It went over my head or something. I didn't see it. I just didn't think about it. I didn't put two and two together, alright? I'm sorry. Yeah, Ganabelt, right here, Lord of Light. So he technically had, like, I guess, the Light Master Core. And what confused me was, like, he had lightning. Like, so I thought it was, like, more like electricity than lightning. I guess you could say that. So that's why I didn't think of that. So, Almadria had wind. Volron had water. Frick, what didn't Doleem like have earth? I think Doleem had earth because because it says earth, water, fire, wind, and light. I didn't think of that. I'm sorry, I'm stupid, all right? I really should have thought about it more, because like at all this time I was like, wait a minute, shouldn't there be a Light Master Core? And like, duh, freaking Ganabelt had it. I didn't think about it. I think it was because like wasn't he hitting me with lightning and like electricity? So that's probably why I was thinking more. It was more like electric than light. But yeah, Doleem had earth, Volron had water, Xion had the fire one, Almadria with the wind, and Ganabelt with the light. And this Red Woman, the Red Woman, is the one that has the Dark Master Core. So it's okay. I think I got it. I don't want to like say I do, but I think I got it. Let's just say that for sure. Oh yeah, we were trying to figure out like who's the sovereign. Yeah, this one guy. I'm not gonna repeat his name because I can't freaking say it. But he was the winner of the last crown contest. Apparently the sovereign doesn't show up. Like, apparently when you go to you turn into a sovereign, you just take a big vacation, you never come back. So yeah, it seems like was it Rena? You got Rena and you got Linnagus. Rena's like the main part, but Linnagus is also part of... I don't freaking know. Don't listen to me, alright? I'm just gonna spout nonsense over and over again. But, if you're very detailed on what I got on right now, I did, in fact, get most of these, I did go back and get most of, the crew's whole, like, better equipment. Because, also I kind of put, made more accessories for everyone. I'm still waiting on making the magic, not the magic crest, the... Fuck, what's it called? Yeah, the Mystic Crest. Yeah, I'm waiting on making on the Mystic Crest because that is supposed to help with casting time. I could have just done this, actually. Wrong one! Yeah, I could have just went over here. So yeah, I'm waiting on making the Mystic Crest for Rinwell because it does reduces casting time. So that would really help Rinwell. So if I can get a ring 5 on this, that would be pretty freaking pretty cool. There's also another ring. It's like that's supposed to also, I'm also supposed to be able to make, but I'm not able to make it currently because I haven't gotten the material for it. So I'm gonna wait on that for Shion because I think that's better for Shion because it's for CP casting. So yeah, a lot of like just me kind of grinding in between the last video and this video. Also, I did in fact go and do the gigantic like quests. The one for the Mantis Oogle. I'm just showing these guys this because I did it and I kind of want to like say, hey, this is what I did. So I did... Where is it? It should be somewhere. Hold on. It's somewhere. Here it is. Hold on, I passed it. Okay, I defeated the Mantis and talked back to the person. And I also did... What was that other one? I also did Skybound Swarm. They were pretty much just pretty easy now that I'm level 42, level 43. They were around that level anyway. So I went ahead and just did it. I didn't get any of the footage recorded for the fights, but thank God I was recording most of the skits that popped up. Because there were skits that popped up when I got back to the city, and I kept on recording for like till I completed the quest. So there's gonna be, I'm gonna jump into like this past Dakota stuff where pretty much it was me grinding and doing most of these 2 of these subquests. And I'm also gonna be, you're also gonna be happy because I did complete some campfire conversations. I got some smiley faces. It's gonna be really good that you guys get to see that. I only got my microphone recorded for the dialogue stuff for like the quests. I didn't get it for anything else. So if you do hear me like say something like at like a campfire, maybe I don't know, I might do a post like edit thing where like I just put my voice over it, but I don't know, I probably won't. But I did record my voice over the dialogue for the subquests. So this thing's gonna probably take about like 20 minutes, I think. So I'll put a timestamp somewhere. So go to this timestamp, and we'll be back to the present Dakota. So BRB.
Shion, just in the nick of time. Here, lend me a hand while I...
No!
What the... Oh, right. The thorns. My bad.
No, I'm the one who should apologize. I overreacted.
Again, Law? Can't you even go a minute without putting your foot in your mouth?
Seriously, it's fine. I'd rather that than people feeling like they're walking on eggshells around me. Besides, I'm the one who should be vigilant about not touching you guys, not the other way around.
Actually, I've been meaning to ask. Not being able to touch people, does it ever get lonely sometimes?
I guess I never really thought about it in those terms. It was either accept it for what it was or come undone. Before long, it was just part of my everyday reality. I think I even forgot there was another way to live. Which isn't to say I didn't feel alone. I did. Always.
So numb to your reality, you couldn't even recognize it as loneliness? I don't know how you managed.
It's fine. I know I'm not alone anymore.
But I can't even touch you. No way of lending you a shoulder when you're down? Even Alphen.
I appreciate the concern. Until I get rid of these thorns, I guess I'll have to put up with it just a little longer. But not forever. Alphen promised me that. Maybe it'll be soon, maybe it won't be. But either way, the day will come. And I'll be ready when it does.
Yeah, just hang in there. One day, we'll share a big warm hug. You'll see. I promise.
Yeah.
We meet again. How'd it go with that giant Zoogle? We managed to get rid of it for you.
What?
You did? Damn, I'm honored to meet the man who dealt with that thing. I'm guessing this is your first time taking on something that big, huh?
Right.
Yeah, but I didn't do it alone. Anyway, here are the materials you were after. Oh, don't worry about those. I'm just glad the Zoogle's gone now. You could have those materials. I'm sure you put them better use than I ever could.
Afraid not.
Are you sure? Alright, if you say so. I am. I have to imagine you might run into other crazy Zoogles during your travels. Just don't bite up more than you can chew. You might be able to get good materials off of them, but you'll still only got one life.
Right.
He's right. I don't need you dying before we complete what we set out to do. I know.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'll let you go. You can be sure I'll be telling everyone just how heroic you are. Thank you guys so much. Thank you.
Shion, about that fight just now.
Sorry about that. I was careless.
I didn't come to criticize you. Just please take better care of yourself.
You don't need to worry about me. In case you forgot, I can't exactly die anyway. It's like how you used to not care about getting beat up because you couldn't feel pain, and then I was the one to patch you up. It's the same thing.
You're right. That is how I used to be. But this isn't the same.
Then what do you mean? How is what's happening now different from what happened then?
It's different now.
Look, if you mean because you can feel pain again,
It's because I don't want to see you getting hurt. You're right. When I couldn't feel any pain, I put myself in all sorts of dangerous situations. I didn't listen to anybody's warnings, and I made a lot of people worried for no good reason. It was foolish. This isn't about you and me being able to take pain. I don't want to have to see you get hurt, Shion. It's too much for me to take. Is that a crazy thing to say?
No, it isn't. And I definitely don't like seeing you get hurt either, Alphen. We can't expect our enemies to show us any mercy, but I will do my best not to throw myself in harm's way out there either. How does that sound?
I'm sorry if I sounded harsh earlier. I didn't mean to. I just really want you to take better care of yourself.
I will. At least, for as long as I can.
What? Hey guys, I don't see any of our food anywhere.
What?
I know! The bag we kept it all in has vanished! Some Zoogles must have gotten in behind us and swiped the whole thing while we were fighting.
What?
Huh? What are you guys talking about?
This affects you too, you know! We lost all our food, including all those sweets you love so frickin' much!
What? How could this happen? Those sweets are the highlight of my day! Oh, so hungry.
Hunger is like that. The moment you know there's nothing you can do about it, it becomes that much more unbearable.
Whoever did this, I swear I'm gonna make them pay for stealing our supplies.
All that's left now is this one lonesome apple.
Law?
What? Hey, don't look at me like that. I picked this apple myself. I'm not just gonna...
Food.
Hand it over.
Stay away! Ah!
Hey, I'm back. Huh? What the heck happened here?
Only a poignant reminder of how dangerous a food shortage can be in a collective. A serious problem indeed. And one we should all be mindful of.
I see. Does it have anything to do with why you're holding our food supply bag behind your back?
You son of a bitch!
Easy peasy. I knew I could handle. Hoodle, no, that's mine.
Never thought I'd see you fighting Hoodle over food of all things. Normally, you share everything you have with him.
Yeah, but this is a fancy parfait. Every girl dreams of having one of these.
Is it really that big of a deal?
Please don't bring me into this.
It's always nice to eat something that fulfilling.
I can't believe I actually get to have it all for myself. Every little bite makes me so happy.
But isn't that parfait gonna cost you quite a lot more than your regular ice cream choice?
That's all the more reason for me to enjoy it. Everyone knows it takes lots and lots of sweets to stay full of energy.
Everybody, a cream monster has devoured Rinwell.
At times such as these, it would be best to just let her do as she wishes.
Yeah, definitely.
Dohalim's right. If someone's trying to enjoy their favorite food, just leave them to it and don't bother them.
Yep. Can't argue with that.
I don't get women.
So good.
Shion, could we talk a moment?
I thought you had something to talk about. I was waiting on you.
Not really. Why? Should I leave you alone when I don't?
No, it's fine.
We used to really have to force these conversations when we started talking to each other, didn't we?
To say the least. Hey,
What is it?
do you think you'd like to make something together?
Make what exactly?
Just if you wanna make dinner together. What did you think I meant?
Huh? Dinner? Oh, dinner! Yes! Yes, of course! Dinner! Right.
What did you think I was talking about?
No, it's nothing. Don't worry about it. Anyway, what did you have in mind?
Well, do you recognize these ingredients?
This is... Wait, is this?
So you remember? That's right. We're going to fix the very first meal we ever had together. Although I remember it not being well received when we had it.
You still remember that, huh? I'm sorry, Shion.
I'm just teasing you, Alphen. I picked this recipe because it's easy to make, and I thought it would be a good choice for dinner, too. Anyway, let's get to work. With both of us making it, we should be finished in no time.
I never thought we'd end up eating alone like this again. Just the two of us.
Yeah. So much has changed when you look back on it. Well, I guess maybe not what we're eating, but still.
No, I'd say even that's changed too, in a sense. Our meals are a whole lot better now.
True. We've both come quite a long way in the culinary arts.
That's not exactly what I mean. How do I put it? It feels like eating together is a lot more enjoyable than it used to be.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Even after our battles are done, when Dahna is saved and our mission is finished, we'll probably still be sitting down to dinner like this, night after night.
Yep, I doubt that much will change. You've always got to eat at some point.
I hope our dinners will always feel like this.
Maybe not exactly like this. Hopefully we won't still be camping out.
Oh, no, not at all. I meant in a nice, warm house. One with a roof over our heads and a proper fireplace, instead of an open campfire.
And real chairs instead of these logs. Nice plates and silverware on a big dining table. Oh, and a proper kitchen. That'd be nice too.
And when it's time to fix dinner, we'll be in that kitchen.
Standing side by side.
Whoops. Looks like we made too much. I don't think we'll be able to finish all this.
Yeah, you're right. I'll see if anybody else is still awake. I'd really hate to have to throw it away.
Side by side, huh?
Woo! Yeah, baby! That's what I've been waiting for!
I never thought about this until now, Alphen. But doesn't it get hot wearing that armor all the time? You feel heat and cold again, don't you?
Admittedly, yeah. It can get pretty toasty in this thing.
Is it hard when your back starts to itch?
Oh, you bet. Plus, my shoulders get stiff wearing it, even if it's not all that heavy.
Kisara looks like she manages all right with her armor.
Armor takes a strong body and a stout heart.
Spoken like a true guardsman. Not that I really get what you mean.
The more I think about it, the more I realize what a pain it must be. Like, what do you do when you need to take a leak?
Ew!
That part can be a bit of a pain, yeah. More things to take off.
That sucks, man. Wouldn't it be easier if you just walked around outside of your armor most of the time instead?
You never know when the enemy might attack. As tempting as it might be to take it off, it's not worth getting killed over.
So basically, you're screwed if you ever get attacked while taking a dump. Right, Rinwell?
Are you doing this on purpose?
Doing some thinking?
Nah. It just occurred to me that our journey's been going for a while now.
Is it a wonder to you our group has held together this long?
Maybe. We've got Dahnans, Renans, a lord, a mage, and even a guy from another time. Yet here we all are, leaning on each other as travel companions. It's like a minor miracle.
If anything, I'd say it's proof. Proof that as long as we accept each other for who we are, we can all get along.
And with understanding comes togetherness. Yeah, we are more than enough evidence of that.
I've always had a thorny relationship with others. Quite literally, as it happens. I figured that it was easier to give up on intimacy, rather than having to go through all of the pain of rejection. I mean, is it any wonder I grew thorns around my heart, too?
But now...
Right. Now... I still have my thorns, of course. But they don't cover my heart. I know now that there is more than one way for people to relate to one another. It was you and everyone else here that taught me that. Everyone that you brought together, Alphen.
It wasn't just me. I mean, sure, I invited a few folks to join us, but... swordsmanship's about all I have to offer. Everyone's taught and supported me just as much as I have them.
You see? That's what I'm talking about.
What do you mean?
I mean, you're fine just as you are. The bonds that you form with others, they shine more brightly because they're mutual. It's not just one bond for you. It's many, each with a heart of its own. That's what makes them special.
Hey, Shion. Got any requests for supper tonight?
Me? Not really. I'm fine with just about anything. Everything you cook is delicious.
Well, thank you. Seeing you devour my food makes all the work I put into it well worth it.
Do I look that eager to you?
Nothing wrong with that. We all have to eat to survive. It makes me happy to see people eat their fill on what I fix.
I'm not sure how to respond to that.
Looks like it was well worth coming out here to the ocean to fish, judging by your haul.
Yeah, I can't complain with a catch like this. Dinner tonight's going to be a real good one.
Hell yeah!
What do you care? You're always happy as long as you're full.
Not always. I mean, okay, yeah, sure. Having a full stomach is close to the maximum amount of happy I can be. But Kisara's cooking is just so amazing. Even you can't deny that.
Well, sorry for not being able to cook as good as her then.
What? That's not what I said at all.
Anyway, what are you planning to do with that fish? Grill it? Turn it into a sashimi? Personally, my vote's for something Kisara?
Sorry. Can you, not talk to me? Right now?
Hey, are you all right? Your face is as white as a ghost.
It might be more accurate to say green.
What happened? She was doing okay until just a few seconds ago.
Actually, I think I remember her mentioning at one point that she felt pretty seasick. But we've been out here for a while now. Maybe it doesn't hit her when she's concentrating on something.
I think that means yes?
I'm sorry. I've never seen anyone look so ill before.
Don't worry about dinner right now. You just get some rest, okay? Rinwell, mind if we chat a little? I'm surprised to see you up reading so late. What have you got there?
Oh, it's a book about magic. I was hoping I'd reach the end of this chapter before I went to bed.
I'm impressed you can read all that tiny text without drifting off.
It's easy. Honestly, the subject is so interesting, it keeps me wide awake. Although I have to admit, the more I read this book, the more I realize just how much I still have to learn. I hate not knowing it all, so it pushes me to keep learning as much as I can so I can be a real expert.
So that's why you're studying by the campfire every night, huh? You've really changed, Rinwell.
Really? I don't feel like it.
Remember how you used to be when we first met in Calaglia?
Sure, but that's because I was still hiding a lot from you guys. Am I really all that different aside from that?
Definitely. It's the difference between a rock and the sun.
Are you saying I used to be like a rock? That's not something you should use to describe a girl, Alphen.
My bad. But the comparison is still apt. You used to not be open with us about your magic at all. And now look at you.
Well, I guess you may have a point. I used to hate studying magic because my parents made me do it. And after everything that happened, I felt like it brought nothing but trouble. But now, I don't think it's so bad after all. Maybe I really have changed more than I thought. All magic is simply astral energy combined with knowledge. It's neither good nor bad by itself. It all depends on how you use it. Saying it out loud, I guess I finally made peace with it.
I think you have Law to thank for that.
What? Why him?
I mean, he was kind of the one who...
Nope, he's got nothing to do with it. None. Zilch. Nada. Nothing.
If Law heard that, he'd be pretty bummed, you know.
You're crazy. I don't see why he would be.
Are you saying you rather he wouldn't be? I'd say the fact you can get so worked up about things now is another sign you've changed.
Sounds like someone wants me to put on a little magic show.
All right, all right. I'll take my leave before I say anything else that might get me into trouble. Just make sure you aren't staying up too late, okay?
Ugh, I'm not a little kid anymore. Yeesh. Though actually, It felt kinda nice hearing that. I wonder why. Woo!
Oh my god! Yeah! Yeah!
Hey, are all the flying Zoogles gone now?
Sure.
That's right, we didn't leave a single one standing.
Right!
It's true. I guess when you make her mad, she can really take it out on Zoogle hordes.
Hey!
Don't give him any ideas, Alphen.
Yeah!
Wow, that's awesome. Thank you so much. I'll never forget what you've done for the rest of my days. Okay, calm down. When I actually think about it, the Zoogles were actually pretty cute. I feel a little bad for in hindsight. Yeah! Oh, and an explosive gunslinger. Heck yeah. Alright, so we're back here. Let's go on ahead. Push forward so I can actually go. I tried to go a little bit ahead, but there's these guys, so I didn't want to like do anything.
Damn it. Lenniget's soldiers.
Any way we can avoid fighting them?
Nope.
That all depends on them. Whatever happens, be ready.
Well, so much for them not wanting to fight.
Ho! I am Lord Dohalim of
Oh, frick.
I command you.
Rest of the city must
I command thee.
No. Have they been brainwashed too?
Brainwashed or not, if they want to fight, they got one.
Between heaven and earth.
The enemy wields arc too.
Oh yeah, I've been kind of spamming my incineration wave. I have the magic emblem where it posts to do like fire damage. Like, so, it's all just fire damage. Like if I go back into here, it's literally just fire damage. I don't know if that's really the best strat for Alphen, because I also have the warrior emblem for like all plus 60 attack. I think did I put that? I think I put that. Yeah, I put that on Law because he's more attack based. But I don't know. I felt like that was a good thing to do. Oh! Like, look how much damage that freaking incineration wave does. It does so much damage. And plus, I have my raining slash, which does like the most freaking damage as well. It's crazy.
Those soldiers seem different from the citizens we've come across so far.
Yeah, they weren't big talkers, that's for sure.
They were in
They
armor.
just attacked without warning.
They weren't in the least bit fazed by Dohalim's presence either.
Indeed. They seem to recognize us as enemies, nothing more. And yet, traditionally, Lennigus hasn't been high on threats. A few frenzied Zoogles during experiments here and there, but not much else.
Their glazed-over eyes reminded me of the soldiers and slaves we met back in Ganath Haros. The ones in blind devotion to Volron.
I've never seen anything
Yeah,
like that
Volron
here on
disappeared. We don't
Lennigus
really
before.
know where he went.
Maybe someone doesn't want us here, and the soldiers are their way of letting us know.
What with the Red Woman, the Sovereign, and Volron, we're starting to develop quite the growing list of adversaries. At least we'll know to keep our wits about us.
Yeah. Platinum dog tags. Oh, I've they might sell for a good price. Oh yeah, for the second mystic arts that I gotten for Xion and Rinwell, I haven't done them. So, because I wanted to save my reaction for when I was recording. So, I made sure that it didn't like happen, or I just didn't see it. Because I think it'd be more fun that way. What the crap? It's that another mantis? Oh yeah, there was some equipment stuff that I couldn't make because I needed more of the materials for them. But there was like Dark Mane, there was the Mantid Quartz. These might be where I get them now. Looks like him. These guys look like grass types. What the crap was that? Alright, let's...
I wonder if we
Yep.
can make new weapons with this.
I get Dark Mane from this. Nice. Okay, I needed like this stuff too. The Force Mantis. Ow. Oh wait, Shion has her thing. Oh frick, Shion has her thing. Okay. Switch. I want to make sure that she has these cheaper stuff. So can I just do her? I guess I could just do her aerial attacks. I want to make sure though that I can do at least one. Here we go. All right. See if I can do this. Here we go. Explosive charge. Oh, holy crap. Oh! That was freaking dope, dude. Freaking just shot him into the freaking like blazing ball. That was pretty cool, dude.
You can really make weapons with this?
Damn, no, I gotta heal.
Jin must truly be watching over me.
Holy crap, dude. Ew, these guys are like all green. They're all radiated. There's so much going on right now.
Those soldiers don't seem to have any qualms about attacking on sight.
Is someone making them stand guard over the Forbidden Zone?
Possibly. Do not enter the Forbidden Zone. Shortcake. Shortcake recipe. Ooh. I think I've seen something about the shortcake recipe somewhere. I think it was I was looking up for like materials or something. Oh my god, another goddamn mantis, dude. I'm noticing there, at least this mantis is getting weak to electricity. Do I have any electricity attacks? Besides that one freaking move? I think I've seen it somewhere. I have to wait until after. But I think it's like one of the things I can actually get from the skills. Okay, let me see. Yeah, I got Thunder Fang that you can get. But I'm trying to save up for the second KO prevention. Damn. Hello. Oh my god.
Commander of Heaven.
I feel sprightlier than
Holy smokes, there's a lot of ore in here.
We're all right, Alphen.
Oh yeah, I'd also put the flare claw on because it enhances the fire. I don't know if that's really like the best idea. But it says enhance harshes fire, so I don't know.
A little.
Okay, we got like a teleporter. Oh! It said transfer, so I just immediately did it. Hello?
This must be it. The entrance to the Forbidden Zone.
But it's just a wall. How do we get through?
Whoa.
We punch
I
it!
thought this was sovereigns only.
Alphen.
Right. Just goes up to it. Open sesame.
Yes! It opened!
Interesting. If Alphen's presence still opens the way, it would seem the Sovereign of 3 centuries ago and now are considered one and the same.
You're the damn Sovereign. Don't matter, right?
What?
What in the world? Or... what is going on? Oh, wait.
Alphen.
You again.
Oh, God. Not you.
The spirit channeling ceremony. We'll finally play our parts as the Sovereign and Maiden. How have you been feeling?
What am I sovereign of? Shuffled from lab to lab, always treated like an experiment. Whenever they look at me, all they see is a Dahnan. I don't even know what their precious ceremony's for, let alone what they're going to force me to do as the Sovereign. Tell me, if we're both in the same boat, why do you seem so calm right now?
No choice. Becoming the Maiden's not something I wanted for myself. But they said Rena's prosperity depended on it. How could I say no after that?
Hold on. I just wanted to clarify. I just want to ask something. Do you guys hear they're like eating the microphone? Or maybe I'm just hearing it wrong. Maybe I didn't plug this in right. All right, I'm sorry.
Still, as a Renan, at least you got to decide. Good for you. Meanwhile, I was taken from my homeland. You aren't the captive one here.
It isn't right what they did to you, and I'm sorry for what it's worth. When this is over, I swear I'll help you get home. I can't do this alone. One more day.
How could I say no to that? It's not like I have any choice in the matter anyway. So, what's your name?
It's Naori. Naori Imaris. Try to remember this time.
You don't act like them. Like the other Renans, I mean. How come you treat me like a person?
Because you are.
You're standing right in front of me.
Different worlds. But neither one of us asked to be here right now. In that sense, you and I are much the same. We couldn't do this. We wouldn't be able to talk to each other as people if we didn't see the humanity in each other. So I suppose the question you should be asking is, why wouldn't I treat you like one?
You're not like the others.
Maybe they're not like me.
Here's what we'll do. We give them their damn ceremony. You get me to Dahna. That'll be the end of it. I'm taking you at your word on this. I'm trusting you, not them. Naori.
I swear she just looks like Shion. Just looks like. They all saw that? We're all dreaming the same thing.
What the hell just happened?
Oh my god.
That vision. Did everyone else see it too?
Of course they did.
That person Alphen was speaking to, she looked exactly like Shion.
That's what I just said.
It was Naori. Naori Imaris. Isn't that right?
Yeah, that's right.
She really does look like Shion. I'm beginning to see why Alphen was so confused.
I'm
That's all
saying.
very well and fine, but what did we just witness exactly?
Oh my god.
It's too real to be a mere hallucination.
You saw my memory.
It's a conversation we had 300 years ago.
300.
The night before the ceremony.
You mean all of that really happened? We just saw an episode straight out of your past.
But how is that even possible? Unless... Could this be the Red Woman's handiwork too?
No, I don't think so.
Why not?
You guys didn't feel it? The moment the entrance opened, it was like a stream of Dahnan astral energy rushing over us.
I felt it too. And not for the first time either. It was the same sensation as back inside the wedge.
That would make sense. After all, vast amounts of Dahna's astral energy were being siphoned and sent up here to Lenegus. For all we know, perhaps we're close to the spot where all that energy was stored.
So you think it might have been the energy itself that was responsible for that vision we just saw? But how? And why?
We have no way of knowing. Maybe it's not even as deliberate as all that.
I'm just thinking maybe it's because Alphen used his sovereign powers and the fact that it was Alphen that did it.
It was all just a little sudden. That's all. So that was my ancestor, huh? It was like looking into a mirror.
Yeah, there certainly is a resemblance.
What about you? How are you holding up?
Me?
Even putting aside the question of where that vision came from, it's likely we'll see more of those. Reliving painful episodes from your past. Do you think you can handle it?
Nope.
I can't just pretend like the past never happened. Besides, if it helps us uncover the truth of what that ceremony really was, it might also lead to answers about your thorns.
Alphen.
That's not all. This whole time, we've been fighting to free Dahna from the Renans. But now that we're here, it seems those same Renans might have it just
Now we gotta save the Renans from the Renans.
I'd like to liberate them too, if I can. Which is just another reason I can't afford to shield my eyes from the truth.
Whether you're on Dahna or somewhere else, you always stay the same. Your indignation and righteous passion, your desire to free and protect, they're all hardwired into you. Not that I'm complaining. Come on, let's bust this thing wide open.
Yeah!
Nobody's here.
Stay sharp. After that last illusion, there's no telling what could happen in here.
Oh boy, they're giving me a healing thing. That's when you know shit's about to go down. I'm gonna save real quick then. Alright. Hello? We are entering the Forbidden Zone. Oh. What the crap? Oh yeah, she...
Faria, how did you get in here?
Oh no, the red woman.
Something about her isn't right.
The red woman.
What's wrong with her? She doesn't even seem to know where she is.
Yeah, you're right. She looks just like the soldiers we encountered outside.
The hell? The Dark Master Core? What the hell? Is that Bahamut? I'm just kidding. What the? Look at this dude.
A summoning?
But that's preposterous. She never had that kind of power when...
We can talk later. Here it comes.
Preposterous! How could they do such a thing? Tormented limbs. Oh my god!
Never known Faria to get those
Oh,
goes like that before.
How about with a stone that looks suspiciously like a master core?
Where did she get her hands on that?
Then we get some answers.
Go for the weak
oh,
Minner. Into the center.
my god! Come on. Holy smokes! I have no limits. Fire! Come on. I am taking it out fairly quickly. Woo! And core broke. Look how much damage that does, though. You gotta admit, that does a lot of damage. Damn it! Damn it. Come on. Do it again. Oh no. He's going Super Saiyan mode. No. Oh crap. Dun 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 dun. Stay back. I'm letting them deal with it. Here we go. Shion just got knocked out.
Take it down.
Come on. What the crap? Come on. Come on. Ow. Burn! Uh-oh. And Alton died again. That's my fault. That's my fault. Boom!
Now it's just her!
Wake up!
Faria, can you hear me? Faria!
She's not there.
She's preparing another summoning.
The art she's casting is way too powerful to control. At this rate, her body won't be able to take much more. Dohalim!
Golem! Boom!
Forgive me.
Oh my god! James freaking just punched her.
Man, I thought we were goners.
Everything okay?
Yes. She's only unconscious.
Not her. I meant you.
Shion, please. Can you treat her?
I can try, but I can't promise she'll be back to her real self when she wakes up. All I can do is heal her physically.
We're not even supposed to be in here. Maybe it'd be better if we moved her to somewhere a little safer. Don't you think?
In that case...
I'll take her off your hands.
You?
Avakir,
What?
what are you doing here?
I was curious what you were up to, so I took the liberty of following you to find out.
I followed you
I overheard
here.
what you said about Tarnigan, about how he really died. I'm sorry, I had no idea.
And you believed me? What makes you so sure I wasn't lying?
I like to think I know you a little better than that, Dohalim. Give me some credit. I'll take Faria. Leave her with me. I know better than to ask what you're up to. But whatever it is, I hope it all works out.
Thank you.
Damn.
He seems like a good friend.
He hasn't changed. He never was one to stand out. Instead, he was always hanging back, worrying about everyone else. As for Faria, it's always the closest to me who get hurt.
You don't seriously blame yourself for what happened to her, do you?
Somebody got to her, to strike back at me. Someone who knew me well enough to know that I'd hesitate to fight back. And the same goes for you as well. Neither you nor Faria would have lost loved ones, if it wasn't for me.
You're wrong. Kelzelik was the one who killed my brother, under orders from Almadria. As for Tarnigan, if it weren't for the crown contest, he'd still be alive. That and the whole damn hierarchy that makes it possible. But that's why we're fighting. To put an end to this whole messed up system that treats people as expendable.
Indeed. Ridding society of this blight is really the only way I know how to atone for my sins.
You can't atone, Dohalim. I know it hurts to hear, but those people are dead. No amount of soul-searching or trying to make amends is going to change that. Forgiveness, acceptance, those ships have sailed.
So I just forget the harm I caused?
Oh.
No, the opposite, in fact. You remember. You never forget. You keep it in your heart always. And then you go on living. Not for those already past, but for those still alive.
For those still alive.
Kisara's right. So long as we've still got breath in our bodies, we can make a difference in the lives of others. Lives being the operative word.
That's what living's all about. Being able to still make a difference. Punishing yourself for the past won't make the pain of your conscience go away.
Only fixing the problem in its stead. Is that what you're saying?
That's right. You have to live for tomorrow, Dohalim, not for yesterday. And not only that, you need to live for yourself, and for the change that you still can be.
I shall try.
Don't forget, we've still got a mystery to solve. The the Forbidden Zone, remember?
Shion,
Huh?
thank you. You have my deepest gratitude for what you did for Faria.
Glad to be of service.
I'm glad we could stop Faria without hurting her.
You all did much for her as well. I'm most grateful.
Oh, shucks.
Oh,
We're the same
shucks.
team, right? Let's move on.
Faria the Pawn.
Do you think Faria was really being controlled by someone?
Certainly seemed that way. The question is, who? The Red Woman?
The same person who's behind all of this, I'll bet. Whoever that is.
Brainwashed or otherwise, the feelings of resentment she holds towards me are real.
Someone used her because they knew we'd hold back. If that's not playing dirty, I don't know what is.
It does tell us one thing at least. Someone here in Lenegis is watching us. Someone who means us harm.
There's no question. That attack was meant for us alone.
By someone capable of getting inside a person and manipulating them like a weapon. We need to find whoever it is, fast.
Yeah, the damn Red Woman. She did kind of just pop up out of nowhere. I really hope they give me another fast travel point. Just real quick. Or I'll just walk 2 steps ahead of me.
What is it, Rinwell? Do you hear something again?
Yeah. It's that voice.
The will of Dahna's astral energy.
Oh, yeah. Where's my light? What's this now? Oh, the ceremony.
What? There's so much astral energy. But where's it all coming from? It's almost like it's alive.
What in the world is... The thorns? What? Oh! What? Dude, look at the CGI. Oh! What? Everything's just... Did everyone just freeze? Oh! Oh my god! Dude, when you drink too much Monster, oh my god, dude, what was that?
That was the spirit channeling ceremony just now. No, it was more than that.
What the hell was that? It felt like everything was on the brink of... Like the whole world was seconds from...
Oblivion. It's the same vision as the one my thorns show me. A vision of impenetrable darkness that swallows up us and everything else.
An empty void. A nothing so complete and dominating that there aren't even words to describe it. The end of time.
The visions of the apocalypse you've been seeing. If I'd known how bad they were,
So, everything we just saw, those were Naori's memories, right?
That's right. It was as if her innermost thoughts were speaking directly to us. At least I know they weren't mine.
That power flowing into her. It reminds me of Shion's thorns. If they're what's responsible for all these visions she's been having, then maybe...
Maybe my thorns are made from that same astral energy?
Huh.
If that is the case, we just found the missing link between your thorns and what happened here 3 centuries ago. No, more than a link. Perhaps even the very heart of the matter.
I've never felt astral energy so powerful. What was that?
If it's the same energy your thorns are made of, it must be dark astral energy, right? And isn't that something only Renans have?
Correct. Dark astral energy is possessed by Renans alone.
And when enough astral energy gathers together, it develops its own form of sentience.
Oh, so it must have took
If
form?
so, maybe that complete oblivion is exactly what the Renan astral energy's will is wishing for. But why?
I don't know. Will can be a pretty vague thing to nail down. It's more of a feeling, just like the will of Dahna.
But the will of Dahna is made up of astral energy too, right? And if that's what's been showing us these visions... I don't know, should we really be getting so involved with this thing?
Dahna's will would never want oblivion.
But you can't say that for sure.
Cut it out, you two. Squabbling over theories will get us nowhere.
Let's keep moving. If it's Dahna's will showing us these memories, then I'm as clueless about its motives as any one of us. But if it could lead us to the truth, then I want to find out more.
Shion's right. All we can do is keep going. If these really are Naori's memories we're watching, there could be truths in them I
Oh,
was
wait,
never
so
aware of.
the last one was also Naori's, but I guess.
And I think they may be the kinds of truths I need to confront if we're going to keep fighting.
I thought they were going to be
Sorry about
Alphans.
what I said earlier. Come on, let's go.
Finally, we begin to understand what the thorns are.
Yes, and their source. A ceremony that occurred 3 centuries ago.
But we still don't know how to get rid of them. I just hope we can find a way.
Alright, seen visions.
That vision we saw. It was as if it was meant specifically for us.
What do you make of it? Do you still think the will of Dahna might be involved somehow?
Maybe it's trying to tell us something. But what?
Well, it could be supernatural. You know, like seeing dead people, messages from beyond the grave, ghost-type stuff.
That's your grand theory? That we're being haunted? Come on, Law.
What? It's a great theory.
He might be closer to the mark than you think.
Yeah, see what I'm
What
saying?
if a person's thoughts and deeds were to somehow become indelibly etched into the ether of a place? And what if those with a connection could then somehow pick up on them?
You think that's what it was? Some kind of message someone left here for us?
I am merely entertaining the possibility. Whether it was Dahna's will, or somehow connected to the Sovereign and Maiden's powers, I do not know.
Okay, back up a sec. You're saying that if a place is full of enough astral energy, it can somehow show us events that happened centuries ago?
More to the point, how does that much astral energy gather in one place anyway? Seems unlikely it happened naturally.
Whatever it was, it survived here intact for 300 years. Whoever left it for us, the strength of their intent is beyond doubt.
The strength of their intent.
Oh my god, I just took a step. I literally just took a step. Bum, 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 bum. Why did... What? Come on, man.
Soon, we might very well learn the truth behind Shion's thorns, as well as my own past. I have to be ready to face anything. Whatever happens.
The only way is for Turn back for the time being. Turn back for the time being.
Just need a little time for...
I need time, hold on. I don't know why I did that all of a sudden. I was gonna say, when I was looking through the glossary, or was it? I think it was enemy info. I went over here to unique, and I was looking through all this stuff, and I learned to look at this guy. He was one of the lights that we faced back in the volcano. I'm like, didn't I see something like this before? Truth be told, yeah, he's actually the fire avatar. Didn't really notice it until I thought about it more. I was like, wait a minute, did I see this guy? So it's like, it's because like how the astral energy takes sentient form once there's enough gathered, and so that's what kind of like made me think about like, man. So it's literally like the same person, pretty much. Now I'm wondering, if this is going to be like this, just the same type, just different astral forms, or they're just going to be just the same. I don't know. All right, so now that I got a dark mane, I can make these weapons here. Sculptum Rene, just get that. Sculptum Rene for you. For you, Kasara. Historia Renin. For Rinwell. And I pretty much got all of them now. At least the top ones. Okay, I did get Shortcake. Elemental attack up. Holy smokes. What is that face Rinwell's making? Shortcake! Alright, I'm gonna do another one here. Let's do Kasara.
Kisara, let's talk for a bit.
Try to get everyone that's in the group right now.
Kisara, once this fight is all over, I'm guessing you plan on heading back to Vicente?
Yeah. I've seen and learned so much traveling Dahna with you all. I want to see those lessons applied back home. Hopefully I can use that knowledge to help reform Menancia even further, so it can be a model to other realms. What about you, Alphen? What's your plan?
That's a good question. I think I would be happy just to be able to put my fighting days behind me and live a calmer, more peaceful life. Granted, all I've ever known is how to swing a sword. I'm not sure that switch will be so easy. Still, as long as I have somewhere to come home to, somewhere with a roof and 4 walls without any holes in them, that'll be good enough for me. It would be a home with enough food to make sure I don't go hungry, and a warm bed at night so I don't freeze. It wouldn't have to be anything fancy.
You've always been modest like that. But you're forgetting something else that makes a home. Family. What if you and Shion...
I'd hate to make this conversation all about me. Is there anything you want for yourself once things are over?
For myself? I've never really thought about it. Well, there is one thing I can think of. I don't know if I should say it, though.
Yeah?
I want a fishing pond.
Oh, of course.
Really?
Yeah, I've been thinking about it for a while now. I love fishing, but it's always been such a process to actually do. You always have to make all these preparations before you go out and fish. It'd be nice to have a place I could visit without that hassle. Dig a pond, fill it with water, and get some fish for it. If I could do that, I wouldn't have to worry about Zeugles, and everyone could use it.
You really do love fishing if you're even thinking of ways to help other people enjoy it.
I do. Just don't tell him I said any of this, okay?
Him? You mean Dohalim? True. If he caught wind of it, it might turn into a way bigger project than it really needs to be.
Not only that, he's still determined to make Vicente's residents happy. But personally, I feel his power would be better put to use elsewhere. So if I ever get around to making my fishing pond, I'd rather do it on my own.
Well, if you ever need help, don't hesitate to ask. I don't know my lures from my rods, but I can definitely help with any manual labor you need.
That's sweet of you to offer. I think I'll take you up on that. And then, with the fish I catch there, I could treat everyone to special home-cooked dinners. I'm getting excited already just thinking about it. I suppose I never realized until this conversation that I had any dreams like that for myself. Thank you, Alphen.
Oh. Yay! A modest dream. Form a strong bond with Kasara. Remind her it's good to dream a little. Just a little bit. Aw. I really like these ones that they just feel like they just feel like they just come full circle. Like you can just know them a whole bunch now.
I'll
Yay!
take watch tonight. It's okay.
Okay, the Master Art Final Player. Ooh.
Before we go,
Alright. I made it back. Woo.
Soon, I have to be ready.
I had to be ready. It's just
I'm
forward.
determined to save Shion and Dahna. Nothing I learn can change that.
Oh. Okay. Yeah, that was a weird, like, stopping point they just did. They're like, hey, are you sure you want to go into the teleporter?
Hold up, you guys.
What is it?
Oh my god.
I want to look through that room over there. I'm curious what we'll find.
That's the room you visited in your past, right? Sure. We can check it out.
Great.
This looks like some kind of research facility.
Holy smokes, look at all the pods.
A laboratory secreted away in the Forbidden Zone. Why am I past being surprised at this point?
looks pretty deserted.
Let's check it out. It might give us a new lead.
The Forbidden Zone.
For the people of Lenegus, the Forbidden Zone is the stuff of dreams. Yet here I am, standing within its hallowed halls.
It's off limits even for lords, then? Talk about an exclusive club.
Being exclusive is one thing, but how many important facilities let in only the Sovereign? Doesn't that seem a little strange?
Strange doesn't cover it. If it was only one room, maybe. But a place on this scale? How do they keep it from falling into ruin? Whoever the Sovereign is, they can't manage the upkeep of this whole place themselves.
Did no one ever talk about it when you were growing up?
No, not that I can remember. Then again, Sovereigns and Forbidden Zones weren't exactly breakfast table conversations.
The Forbidden Zone is a hallowed place, at one with the Sovereign's authority, grounds of the one true ruler who presides over all Renans. That is what we believed this place to be. No, what we were made to believe it was. But now, it is finally time to discover this area's true purpose, and why it was kept hidden behind the scenes for so long.
An operating table. Many subjects undoubtedly never came back alive from their operations on this. Ugh. They got the blood stains all over the table. Ugh. So dried up.
I think I can make this work.
Oh, nice. Who knows? You just need freaking Jedi mind powers to turn on the freaking
Can
computer.
you make head or tail of it?
These are experiment records by the looks of it. Reams of them, dating back hundreds of years. Let's see. A composite being capable of controlling Dahnan astral energy so as to convert its molecular and elemental makeup. The creation of a governing central figure taking the form of a Dahnan. Codename Sovereign.
Sovereign.
Wait, there's more. Research into utilizing force field crystals for the purpose of stable astral energy containment. That must be the Master Cores. With all this raw data, there's bound to be records here somewhere about the Maiden and the Lords, too.
About the Lords? Why would they be on there?
Think about it. The Lord's crests are clearly of a piece with those of both the Sovereign and the Maiden. Not to mention the fact that the contenders to the crown are selected from otherwise regular Renan citizens. In other words, it may be that all Renans are unwittingly being made subject to some kind of grand scheme.
What about the Sovereign? Does it say anything else?
Where do I start? All I've read so far is the headlines. There's so much here. To sift through all of it would require specialized... Wait.
What is it? Did you find something?
It's a list of names, with the title, Test Subjects, Sovereign.
Oh.
It's your call.
Read it.
There must be dozens of test subjects listed here. Hundreds even. All of them failures. Wait, I think I've found one that was successful. Test subject number 1273. Ethnicity, NA. Unique adjustment index, generation, NA. Given name, Alphen.
NA. What the heck am I?
They re-engineered me. Right here in this lab.
Alphen.
It's fine, really. What about the others? Was I the only one?
Test subject number 10105. Ethnicity, NA. Unique adjustment index.
NA.
Given name,
Nori?
Volron.
Volron?
Volron? But that means...
He's only sovereign because someone made him that way too.
He's the last one. In 3 centuries worth of records, you and Volron are the only 2 subjects on whom the experiment was a success.
So we're both centuries old? What the crap?
But what about the winners of the crown contests? Does this mean that none of them were ever crowned sovereign after all?
Well, you've never seen them again after they got crowned sovereign.
Upon victory, the sovereign shall return to Rena.
Yes.
Rule over Rena and Lenegis combined.
Yeah.
When a new sovereign is decided, the outgoing monarch shall relinquish their post and live out the rest of their days on Rena. So we were told. But according to these records, there have only ever been 2 sovereigns, neither of whom had anything to do with the crown contest.
Yeah, just actually made into a sovereign.
It's all lies, including the part about the sovereign residing in Rena.
Damn.
The crown contest was never about deciding a new ruler. It must always have been devised for some other purpose.
But even supposing that's true, someone must have been in charge for the past 3 centuries, right? If it wasn't the Sovereign, then who was it?
Crown contests have been held this whole time, in spite of the fact that there was already a Sovereign. Me. Meaning that for the past 300 years, someone out there has to have been maintaining that lie. The same person I'm willing to bet is behind all this.
The Red Woman?
It's possible. But that doesn't necessarily mean she's the mastermind.
And you got
behind this
Voron, but I don't know.
She could be working for someone else. Someone back on the Renan homeworld.
Plot twist, it's gonna be
Either way, it's fair to say she's definitely involved somehow.
the freaking old man. Gourmet Saga man.
What about the data records? Is there no other information that could help us?
Not that I can see. Just file upon file of experiment results. There's nothing here about who's behind all this, or what their endgame is, unfortunately. I've barely managed to scratch the surface, mind you. You won't be able to read through it all, but you're welcome to take a look through what you can, while we're here.
I'll do that.
Oh my god. So Volron
So this
and
is where Alphen
Alphen-
became sovereign. And Volron as well.
yeah.
The significance of this location would suggest...
Hey, it looks like the terminals in here turned on too.
We should look through them. They might contain valuable information.
Oh my god. Toying with lives.
Only 2 sovereigns in over 300 years. So why has the experiment only succeeded twice in all this time? And if that's the case, why keep on doing it? Was there really no other way? Or could there be some other reason?
Dohalim.
Forgive me.
Alphen.
I'm fine. I'm just a little shaken, that's all. I knew what I was already, so it's not like it's a surprise or anything. But it's strange. I've got all this rage inside of me, but I don't even know who it's for. I'm scared that I'll put a face to it, just to have someone to blame.
If that were to happen, then No. Then we'd help you fight it, before you ever got that far. Wouldn't we, everyone?
Yeah, we wouldn't just sit by and watch you spiral out of control.
That's right. No good can come from being consumed by hatred.
If you ever start to lose your way, you can count on us to guide you back. To remind you where home is.
And I would be happy to lend an attentive ear, should you ever have need.
Thank you, everyone. I think I'll be okay now.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, so 3 freaking centuries ago. Goodness gracious. Both Voron and Alphen, like, what are the odds of them both being from 3 centuries ago? The Sovereign. Sovereign acts as Lennigus' central control device for the spirit channeling ceremony. Each one is granted level 2 authority and has an ID crest. A Dahna subject serves as a base of its creation. In theory, ideal candidates possess equal affinity for every astral element. However, such aptitude is statistically rare to uncover with real-world conditions. As a result, most subjects die during the adjustment period, and stability is still not guaranteed for those who survive it. Instability, coupled with the Sovereign's powers of astral manipulation, was a high risk to the security of Lennigus if left unchecked. As such, stabilization measures must be put into place via the support mechanism when utilizing the Sovereign in the spirit channeling ceremony. Anidem 1. No effective alternate methods to perform the ceremony has been found. Trials on Dahna subjects are authorized to continue. Addendum 2. Unit 2 adjustments are a success. Subsequent adjustments are to be put on hold while extended observation takes place. Oh my god. The Maiden. The Maiden acts as the Sovereign support mechanism for the spirit channeling ceremony. Each one is granted level 2 authority and an ID crest. A Rena subject serves its functions, providing the Sovereign with a supplemental dark astral it lacks in tandem with the Rena's Alma. During the ceremony, it's partly responsible for astral energy conversion, as well as maintaining stability over the Sovereign's own powers. Well, the thing with Niori, the thorns kind of happened, and then, well, can stabilize that after that. Additionally, the degree of intimacy between it and the Sovereign has been observed to positively impact the level of stability in both subjects. Because of this, trial activations of the Sovereign without the Maiden present are expressly forbidden. Furthermore, neither the Sovereign nor the Maiden are to be informed about the details of the spirit channeling plan. Addendum 1. Mental instability in the Maiden has been deemed the cause of past Sovereign's rampancy. Countermeasures must be considered. Addendum 2. In line with plan adjustments, the current subject will have its Maiden registration revoked and be returned to its original household. Well, we don't really know what kind of happened at the end there. After Alphen got kicked out of Lennigus. Holy smokes, there's gonna be a lot here. Lords. Each crown contest, 5 of the best qualified members of the Renan populace are chosen to act as lords, vying to serve as the next sovereign. During their tenure, they are granted level 3 authority, as well as one of the 5 elemental realms to administer and its corresponding master core. They're also assigned to an ID crest indicating their designated element. The selection process is based only on astral artistry and physical and mental aptitude. Other variables such as age have no bearing whatsoever. Because of the strongest go on to become lords, the position itself doesn't inherently make an individual any stronger. It should be noted, however, the lords are not the only individuals capable of drawing out a Master Core's power. All Renans must take part in the selection process, and acceptance of the position is mandatory. It is not allowed for those deemed suitable to decline. Furthermore, in the event that an acting lord is incapacitated and can no longer serve in their position, a replacement must be quickly prepared. Well, I don't know how quickly they're going to replace them now that all the other lords are taken down. Unique adjustment index text subject report. The following is a report on the second successful case of sovereign test subject experimentation. Test subject blah 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 given Volron blah 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 blah. Although subject possesses high latent potential, it exhibits significant mental instability, along with a strong distaste for following orders. As such, the risk it poses surpass even those of the last successful subject, itself a failure, and is therefore under consideration for disposal. Adenim. This is the first successful case in 300 years. Fuck, I can't talk. Adenim. This is the first successful case in 300 years. Previously mentioned risk factors are now mitigated due to established control protocols. Subjects to be evaluated under the assumption that Plan 2 will proceed and be dispatched to Dahna under the guise of serving a lord. Under the guise of serving a lord? We're just going to hide the fact that he's a sovereign by making him a lord. What the hell? Master Cores. Master Cores are instruments of power containing astral energy that belongs to one of the 6 elements. 5 of these Master Cores, those with earth, water, fire, wind, and light, are loaned to the Renan lords at the time of the crown contest. Only the Dark Master Core is maintained inside the Forbidden Zone until the Renaissance is ready to be reformed. Existence kept top secret. Oh. So the Dark Master Core was kept here in the Forbidden Zone the entire time. Alright. Underneath the Master Core's spherical outer layer is a force field crystal used for the purpose of astral energy containment and stabilization. Inside the force field, astral energy is stored in a dormant state. For the duration of the tincture, each lord competes in the crown contest to master a allotted type of astral energy. In the event of an emergency, each lord may be allowed to withdraw from the respective stock of astral energy as necessary. However, the extent allowed is determined based on their own individual strength. Addendum 1. Design flaws have been discovered in how the Rena's Alma materializes. Be advised that active Master Cores may resonate with other Master Cores located in close proximity and become unstable. Addendum 2. Due to successful regeneration of the Rena's Alma, Master Cores will cease to be deployed and the crown contest will be permanently halted. Yeah, so when the Master Cores are like very close together and becomes unstable, didn't that happen when like with like Shion and Genabelt, how like her Master Core just started acting up, and then that's when dude gets stabbed. Spirit Cores. Spirit Cores are internals used for the collection of astral energy. When embedded with a biological subject, it can establishes connections throughout its body. These connections are used to amass the astral energy generated from physical activity, which is then emitted from the host body itself. Because this emitted energy is prone to diffuse, the host must be placed within a range of spirit vessel for the energy to be collected. This means that Dahnas must be employed to harvest the astral energy for the purpose of the crown contest. Given the difficulty in producing them, it is advised that the spirit cores will be retrieved from host bodies and reused upon their death. Spirit cores can be embedded into Zeugles to control them via astral arts. Addendum. Increased physical load on a host body tends to produce increased astral energy emissions. Final confirmation of ideal workload to impose on host bodies while inducing death where maximum astral energy yields is pending. Oh crap. Linegus. Large-scale astral energy converter that primarily converts the elemental composition of Dahna's astral energy and transmits it to Rena. Activation and control of astral energy conversion is achieved by placing the Sovereign, Maiden, and Rena's Alma within the central core of Linegus. It is comprised of classified and essential personnel residence zones around a large conduit along with a defensive layer surrounding them. This outer layer is deployed upon activation, unlocking the central conduit when simultaneously functioning as a stabilization mechanism. Due to its design, deployment of the outer layer is expected to cause damage to residential zones. However, because that only takes place during the final stage of the spirit channeling ceremony, no contingency plan to address said damage is needed. Until that phase, Linegus serves as the central base of operations for the management and execution of the crown contest of Dahna. Warning, any personnel with level 3 authority or lower is strictly forbidden for the classified zone. Any violators will be immediately executed. Well, they haven't executed me yet. Detachable Harvester. A massive spirit vessel placed on Dahna for the spirit channeling ceremony. It serves as the tip of Linegus's conduit, which it separates. Upon landing in Dahnan water... Okay, this must be the wedge thing. It extends 2 sets of conducting pathways. The vertical pathways connect to the center of Dahna. Meanwhile, the horizontal pathways proceed to envelop the entire surface of Dahna. Once activated, it links to the biological spirit vessels placed in each realm, efficiently harvesting the planet's astral energy in Masse. The accumulated energy is transmitted to Rena via Linegus. Because construction and adjustment takes place in the Forbidden Zone's regulator area, Linegus's outer layer must be deployed prior to launch, intended to function semi-autonomously. Only maintenance personnel are expected to manually interface with it when necessary. No other personnel is required for it to function. Item 1. Detachable Harvester 1 was lost on Dahna after exploding due to the rampancy exhibited by the Sovereign. Okay, this might be during when Alpha went fucking rampant. Adamant 2. Detachable Harvester 2's landing point will remain the same as of the previous model. This is due to the explosion of the previous model, which altered the planetary holography, enabling easier connection to the center of Dahna. So wait, they threw it down during the spirit channeling ceremony, or after the fact? It should be like, they said when the Sovereign went rampant, pretty much. So that must have been when Alphen was going psycho. Sedative mask. Device covering... Okay, this might be like the mask that Alphen wore. Device covering the wearer's whole face that restricts their mental activity. It was developed for the purpose of pacifying prisoners. Medical applications are also recognized, particularly as the means of preventing patients from sustaining mental trauma. However, doing so is not recommended, as prolonged use of the device carries the risk of inducing a number of adverse side effects. Adamant. Due to the loss of production facilities incurred at the partial destruction of Linegus, this device will no longer be manufactured. Of course. Oh yeah, Alphen had its whole freaking time and probably passed out. Brainwashing report. As receiving reports of a robust new form of rule emerging in Dahna's water realm, a study was commissioned to investigate the matter in depth. The system is unique in that it elevates only the Lord as the supreme authority while relegating both Renans and Dahnans alike to enslavement. Test subject blah blah blah, it serves as the realm's current Lord and has achieved this without the use of any special powers, drugs, or special devices. Rather, it has done so by sheer governance. Given this method's effectiveness of population control, monitoring the situation will continue. Addendum 1. Collapse of cognitive facilities via extreme mental repression rooted in violence and fear has proven to be key to the style of rule. Once the subject loses his autonomy, they become desensitized to fear and subsequently cease to prioritize even their own personal safety. Though such a state is ill-suited for commanding officers, there remains an effective way to cultivate disposable infantry and slaves for manual labor. Item 2. Soldiers in Linegus who have undergone this treatment will be asked to secure classified sectors as a trial, which will also be monitored. Okay. The brainwashing. So we're literally brainwashing these guys. They're not gonna be here. Taking over their minds. Okay, a lot I got in reading, but at least I kind of clarified some things. Not everything, but really helpful to kind of just tell you that. All right, time to move forward.